I'm gonna erase you for taking what's mine. Brother, you best move if you're gonna hide. Oh, maybe you don't know when, but you know the reason why. Going down. I'll be the last man standing. The last man standing. You know I never bend and never break. I'm the heavyweight with all the answers. I'm the last man standing. I'm the last man standing. I drew a line into the sand 'cause I only plan to be the last man. The last man standing. I'm not going down. I'll be the last man standing. The last man standing. You know I never bend and never break. I'm the heavy.
Hi, good evening and welcome to the round number 4 of Season 9, the RTO GT3 League, and we are live from Oulton Park this evening. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. It is very, very wet, as we've had some major storms from Storm Brent this weekend, so the drivers have to contend with some damp trackness out there. As you can see, we got one more round after this weekend, and that would be round from Imola. So I hope you guys are settled in, ready to watch this, because it's going to be an interesting race. There is not as many drivers this week due to probably some dampness, maybe the track, I don't know, but there's a few drivers that have decided that they cannot race this week, and some of them have mentioned that obviously they've got things going on in their lives, which is absolutely fine. And as we would expect, you, life comes way quicker and way more important than sim racing, but it's something you can enjoy on the side. So let's go over the standings at the moment. We've got Thomas Loverick leading the AMS, with Phil Mitchell for some reason drawing out of the championship from the previous round. So that leaves Seppi Le Guin and Thomas Loverick to battle it out at the top, although Nigel Woodcock might have something to say about that. And with a good result this weekend, then maybe he's in line for a good shot if there's something that's going to come apart in the final round for Thomas Loverick in the AMS. You've got Daniel Zlatnik, Daniel Solis, Simon Kret, and Lucas Tresser, Mikhail Sokolowski, and Short Althuses in there as well. Then if we switch over to the silvers, and excuse me, I just realised that the music isn't meant to be there. Sorry, guys. Not sure why everything's playing. Everything's not playing ball tonight. It's not playing ball. Anyway, as usual for me. So Levy Jennings still manages to hold on to P1 in the silvers. He had a DNF last week. He had a disconnect, which was really unfortunate for him. But that classes as his scratch result, so 47 points. But Dreambound Marshall Snaithman is no longer continuing with his title push. So that leaves Christoph Holzer in pole position to go after Levy Jennings. So that is going to be a tough battle. Christoph Holzer, we know, is a tough competitor, very, very quick on the track. So I'm expecting good results after that win last week. Tom Solis looking to come back into this as well. He's only a couple of points further back. So definitely keep an eye on Tom Solis. A couple of good results. You never know what will happen if Levy Jennings has another disconnect. It could all rotate. James Rollins not with us this week. Evans Van Seder is. And third and a fourth. That's good results for the first time driver in RTO this season. Ryan McCaw's not able to join us this week either. So Paul Cook will be looking to take advantage of that and jump up a couple of places, or a place there at least, in this race. Tom Lesser also not available to do with us. We wish your family all the best, Lesser. I hope they are on the mend. Paul Whitburn is with us and is looking for a stronger result, although in the wet, in the McLaren, I don't know. I must admit, I've not driven it here in the wet. So, Paul, you might have to teach me that. I hope it goes well for you. Barrios and Martinez are rounding off the silvers. And then when we go to the pros, we have Dan Watts leading the way currently, when it actually finds some internet and moves around. From Matt Whitburn, the two RTO drivers separated by 7 points. If Matt gets the win and takes the fastest lap today, he will jump to the top of the standings. But if Dan can do anything about that, he will, and be looking to stay up there. Liam Page struggling in the Ford Mustang and some practice today. I'm sure he will be back on form during the race. Don't count this guy out. He's always super quick, super talented. And then it's the battle of the Norwegians. Ben Nergard and Sigurd Refsvik looking to see who's going to try take that challenge to the top three over the final two rounds, with Paul Sadlowski taking some good results in RTO, especially in that last round at Suzuka. So definitely be looking. What is going on there? Why has it gone dark? Oh, hang on, guys. Oh, the server needs to be changed. I do apologise. Well, just bear with me 1 second. We need to just change something, because I've just noticed that the server is dark for some reason, which is just groovy. So bear with me 1 minute while I just sort this out. Right, sorry guys, we just need to restart the server there. Oh, you've just seen everything I needed to do then. Haha, that's good, isn't it, for you? Right, so I changed the I hadn't changed the times from the last week. That's my fault. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for that. But we'll get everyone back in the server and we'll just forward it straight to the race, to the quali, so everyone's ready to go. Anyway, as we were saying, Dan Watson, Matt Whitburn at the top of the titles there. And Maxime Roland and Lacroix not joining us this week. And Brent Minnan, I believe, is. So looking forward to seeing if he is able to do anything about that and get up to the top 7 places. Yeah, let's... Right. I'm just going to make sure something else, actually. Bear with me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Just leave this here for a sec. That's good. It's going to, at least the weather's going to stay the same. That's a good start. Anyway, right. So once everyone gets in, we will forward it onto the quali, and yeah, we'll get that started up very, very quickly. So don't worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, looking forward to seeing this. In fact, what we'll do is we'll bring you some action from the track because at the moment we're just waiting for a couple more drivers to join. So once they do, then we can get to some action on the track. Oh man, if only I knew what I was doing, right? That's basically what's happened here. How are we doing? So Hunt Rogan, good to see you. Subsy as well. Spoon, how are we doing? Good to see you. And yeah, looking forward to seeing how some of these guys get on tonight. Oh, is this only out in 1080 as well tonight? Is it? Oh well. It's because I wiped my PC, so that's always fun. Why is that suddenly stopped? Is the stream lagging as well, or is this stream okay? MWAs, how's it going? I know, I've sorted it. The time should be sorted now. Or is it still 8-9? What? Bear with me a sec. No. All right, so we're back. The server is fixed properly this time, I promise. And we're just waiting on one more driver, I think, to join us, and then we will move it to the race, and then the quali, sorry, and then we'll get that sorted. Apologies for all the technical difficulties. This is just a usual Linksy stream. I basically, what I'd done is I'd forgotten to change the times from last week. I'd set up the whole server, everything was correct, apart from the times. Rookie mistake. That's what I say. Anyway. Let's concentrate on what we have in front of us for the rest of the evening for you. So we have, I think it's 18 drivers instead this time. We've normally averaged around about sort of 25. So there's about 8 drivers have signed up, 9 drivers. So yeah, so I think the rain has put people off. I think there's some people with connection issues anyway because of the storm that we've got over here as well, which hasn't helped. So so yeah, we're looking forward to seeing how these guys do in the race throughout this 1 hour that we have coming up. I will try and keep an eye on all of the chat as well. Some of my settings aren't correct at the moment for the chat, but I will do my best to keep it. I actually have to watch the actual YouTube myself to be able to get your chats in. But yeah, we'll start that out. All right, so I think we're all in. So I don't think there's an 18th driver coming in now. So I think we will just move this forward. Just get it to start. So in 1 minute, we'll give everyone a minute. They're all practicing on the current conditions. It's slightly more damp than it was in practice, mainly because we were expecting a lot more drivers, which is a bit of a shame. But that means the tyres won't go extremely orange and start overheating, which means less of a challenge for these guys in that respect. But it will be a bit more of a challenge in regards to they have to stay on the track when it's a bit more damp. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing how these guys handle that. I must admit, the wet driving in this game is pretty good. iRacing sets the bar with all the offline driving and everything else. No one else has touched it, as far as I'm concerned, in the wet level, wet driving. I've not done it myself, but from what I've seen and what I've heard, it is definitely the benchmark in sim racing at the moment. But ACC still does some really good wet dynamic stuff, which means, you know, there's puddles around when you get a flooded track. You can actually throw you off track. You get lots of aquaplaning, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, so we're all looking to see where people can get to in this race, because I think it's going to be all about quali here at Oulton Park, because Oulton Park is very tight, very twisty, and really, really, really difficult to overtake. So be interesting to see how these guys get on. But yeah, let me just get it to some of the drivers on track for you, and then hopefully we can get some action. There we go. And look to the left. Oh, why is... Okay, even better. That's just... Yep. There we go. Get it to the actual thing, Joe. And you'll see on the left, we've got a different timing board on the left-hand side this time. And we've got, at the bottom right-hand side, you've got the straight or the corner number and what turn the driver is in that you are watching. So hopefully that will give you a bit more insight into the track and what's happening on track, etc., etc. So yeah, I'm hoping I got it working right. ACC TV, thank you so much, by the way, for giving us all the broadcasting tools and everything else that we need to do such a good looking broadcast, which we normally do apart from when I make mistakes, which is also one of the reasons why I've decided that this is going to be the last season I do ACC streaming and stuff, because this is just too much stress. It's way too much stress. Way too much stress. All right, anyway, on board. So the AMs are out for the first 10 minutes, the red mark on the left. So that's why you've got a lot of guys still in the pits. We do have 18 drivers now. It looks like Jennings has decided to join us, which is good, because I thought his title fight was going to be over when I didn't see him back in the on the left there, so that's really good. Oh, someone's off the track, as you can see. So as they come to the final corner, Loverick just looking to see if he can make a bit of a gap between him and Kret. And there we go, up the hill, over Deer Leap, across the start-finish line to start his lap. Brian Bond, how you doing? Mr. Lesser, how you doing? You've missed me absolutely cooking it all up. But welcome in anyway. Thanks for joining us. And yep, down through turn 3, down through Cascades. This is honestly, it's one of my favourite tracks. This one, it really is. Don't forget, Thomas Lovrick, who you are watching right now, races in VR as well. So he races in VR, so it's a little bit different to what you're seeing on the track. Ooh, he runs really close to that white line. If you go off there, you've got to aim for the gap between the walls. If you don't, you're in a lot of trouble. And I'm just hoping that we see some of these guys really behaving themselves as they come through there in the first lap, because obviously the last thing you want is pushing someone wide and they go off the track and end up in the wall, because that's nowhere what we needed. Yeah, Spoon. Yeah. Good thing about the good thing about YouTube is I can trim it. I can cut all that out, so it didn't happen. But I've just told you now, so yeah. I'll leave it. Entertainment purposes, right? It is a very wet Oulton. It's because we use live weather at the moment for the league, and as the drivers were getting practice in all week for wet weather, and it did dry out today a little bit at Oulton Park, but because everyone had been driving wet all week up until like half an hour before this was starting to go. Oh, that Slovak gone a little bit deep. Is that going to allow him to continue this lap? I'm not sure it is. Correct, crosses a line, puts his first lap in at 40.4, and think that is instantly trumped by Thomas Lovrick. It is. So, yeah, there you go. Oh, no, it isn't. He's P3, so Kret did a really good lap there. So, good to see from Simon Kret. He's done a really good lap. Daniel Solis, P1 at the moment, though, in the McLaren. Looking to come back in the AM Challenge. His second year in RTO. Twin brother of Tom, who's not able to join us this week. And is it loud enough for you guys? Because it's really quiet for me. Maybe that's just my headset. It is my headset. There we go. Helps if I move that around. Well, the McLaren really on the edge there. Not anywhere near that white line, which is really good. Daniel Solis is now P3 as well, actually. Nice woodcut in Team Snell Esports in the Porsche. I did say watch out for him. He's on a good lap, and so is Simon Kret. You're going to see these times tumble as they find grip throughout their first 10 minutes. And they should set some good times towards the end of this. They'll have another probably 2, maybe 3 runs, some of them. So definitely keep an eye on some of the times tumbling on the left-hand side. Right, going to do the LMP2 beginner race LMU. I had to put ABS on high just to be able to... Oh, really? That sucks, man. Good luck, dude. Good luck, sir. Have you seen that the the GT3s have ABS, so you'll be happy with that. Just get a wheel! Ah, dear. I might not be racing much this week. I think when I do my stream next, it'll be Flight Sim for this week. Simon Kret does pop back up into P1 in the BMW. That's a much better lap of 39.5. Puts him 1/10 quicker than Tom Lesser. Sorry, Lucas Tresser, who's just gone really wide. Tom Lesser's in the chat. I was looking at his name. And Nigel Woodcock crosses the line. Does he manage to P1 it? No, he does not. He stays P3. Daniel Solis crosses the line, doesn't improve either. Thomas Lovrick's on a much better lap this lap. But at the moment, it's 4/10 up in the first sector on his best lap. I think he's going to need a lot more than that. So he's lost a 10th through the fast left-hander there. Comes across over the curbs. It doesn't touch the curb. Interesting. Everyone else I know absolutely piles over it. You watch the AMs, the pros and the silvers, they'll be jumping over that inside curb. And here as well. It's watching. No one's taken out that pole yet, which is interesting. All the tyres, everyone's staying on track. He's up a little bit more on this lap, but Simon Kret once again putting in the lap. At the moment, it's going to be quicker than what he's done so far. He needs to extend that gap, although Lucas Tresser is boxed. And I believe that might be... He's got enough time if he wants to come out again. He's got 3 minutes. He'll get another lap in. But he needs to come out now if he's going to do another lap. Nigel Woodcock is going to come across the line soon as well. And does he improve? He does not. A couple of tenths off that time from Simon Kret. But Nigel Woodcott's on the move. He's up on this lap. This is going to be getting pretty close. Just needs a good exit. Oh, the back end complaining. And he's not going to cross the line and be any much improved. But I tell you what, watch this one. P6 at the moment for Dan Solis. P5 jumps up. And then it's very, very close between some of these guys, which is really, really good to see. I tell you what we do need to do. Sorry, guys. This is what we wanted. That one there. So that is your quali times up on the thing. I forgot that. Sorry, Simon Crett is now behind Thomas Loverick. Thomas Loverick did have a hell of a final sector. That's what did it for him. But Simon Crett is once again on a faster lap. He's done purple. As you can see around his name, he's on a faster lap. That's what it means when you see that purple. It means I was on a quicker lap. And it could be the fastest lap of the session. He will get another lap in after this as well. And yeah, he's 3/10 up so far, and as you can see on the timing board, he's only 1/100th of a second behind Thomas Loverick, and then Nigel Woodcott 700ths further back. These AMs down to P5, 2/10 covering the top 5 in the AMs. That's great work. And bearing in mind, Shord in P7 is new to sim racing. First ever league that he's done is with RTO, so we're really, really happy to have him with us, doing a great job as well. Only being a second or so off of some of these guys in his first ever league race, league season, sorry, is really, really good. And there you go, a 39.1. He pops it in, and Thomas Loverick is going to cross the line. He's going to start another lap. He will have another lap to do, but this is his final push if he wants to get it on pole, or Crett is going to take it. And he did really well in Suzuka, did Simon Crett, but unfortunately got absolutely tangled in the first couple of laps at Suzuka, and unfortunately did not manage to get anywhere near where he needed to be. And Daniel Solis has parked it. P5 for Daniel Solis, does doing a better lap, but unfortunately not quick enough to beat Lucas Trasso, who's also boxed. Nigel Woodcott and yeah, I think Thomas Loverick is pulling off. He is. So it looks like only Nigel Woodcott or Simon Crett who can take pole position. I'm sure only 6 and a bit tenths, nearly 7 tenths off the back of the guys in front of him. That is great work, especially in the wet in the Porsche. Notoriously difficult car. You can just see him going through in your shot there. Nigel Woodcott is on a good lap here, and he's really wanting to get P2 from Loverick, but he's going. I think he might end up getting held up from Shord here, although Shord's not on a better lap at this time. Oh, and he's pulled off. Nigel Woodcott pulled off. I think he went wide, and that was it. Job done. Simon Crett is on a faster lap, though. He comes into the final corner. Lodge corner, jumps. Oh, no, he gets really sideways, and that's lost him all the time as he jumps up the hill through Deer Leap, and he does not improve. He was on for a better lap, and that was really good work from the Polish driver. Really, really good to see there. So there we go. So your top driver in the AMS is Simon Crett. Then you got Thomas Loverick in the RTO Porsche. I think he only just survived the challenge from the other Porsche from Nigel Woodcott from our friends at Team Snell Esports. Then Lucas Tressa in the gold and black BMW. Dan Solis in the McLaren, the one and only McLaren in the AM drivers this weekend. And then Mikhail Sokolovsky in the Aston. Really good to see an Aston in there, and P6 for him. And then rounding off the AMS is Shord Alfusis, who is in the Porsche as well. There's a few Porsches in the AMS, which is really good to see. Difficult car as well, the Porsche to drive, especially when it's in the wet, as it seems to want to swing around a lot. Right, let's get on to some of these guys who are on laps at the moment, or on the track, sorry, now, for the Silvers and the Pros. Paul Cook in the Ferrari. Only Ferrari, I believe, on the grid in this race, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Let's have a look. Yes, he is. He is the only Ferrari on the grid in this race. So there you go. Same with Matt Whitburn. Only Honda on the grid. So this will be an interesting one. They're all starting to queue up, as you can see. So what we'll do is we'll catch Sigurd Refsvik, newly appointed triple screen driver. He's finally gone to triples from an ultra wide. It says it makes him 6 seconds a lap faster. Not sure I believe him. So what are you going to fly? A plane, probably. I don't know. Oh, that's the wall, refs. There's triple screens. To get 6 seconds quicker, you don't hit the wall. No. Anyway, that didn't happen. We move on. And Alonso's on the camera again. Jump to see someone. You can see a dry line starting to appear on the racetrack. So it is starting to appear there. So these times are going to start to tumble now. Excuse me. Tumble. Well, what else am I going to... I suppose I could fly a helicopter. I could fly a glider. I could fly off the top of a building with no wings. That's how I felt at the start of this broadcast. The way it went, it's not good. And but no, we're going to do some flight sim this week. Just finishing your dinner. Good. But yeah, we're going to do some flight sim this week. We'll do. I'm going to do some after this stream's done, but not on stream. Are you serious, Brian? You're going to abandon us? It's not very nice, is it? Alright, some of these guys are about to come through. It's number 620. Matt Whitburn pops it straight to the top, 37.9. And is he eclipsed straight away by Dan? He is, by 9/10 of a second. The two championship leaders in the pros showing what they are worth. Paul Sadlowski gets pipped by Ben Nergard in the Mercedes, but I'm sure you, Paul probably had a bit of a scruffy lap there because I saw his times in quali, and they were a little bit better than that. Sorry, in practice, and a little bit of that. Although there is a little bit more water on the track right now. Liam Page in P5, struggling in the Mustang. Oh, I see, I did it again. Mustang. What the hell's a Mustang? Mustang. In the Stang. I think that's what we need to stick with, right? Anyway, he's in the Stang, and he was struggling in quali. I think some of it was down to having a bit too much TC. And but he's gained some of the time he lost in the first couple of corners. But he's got way too much TC coming out of these corners. If you listen to Paul Sadlowski coming out of the hairpin, runs a lot less TC. So that's Paul coming out of here. And let's listen to Liam. You can hear the TC just bogging it down. That's where all the time is, Liam. I promised you, sir. Because this man's on for a good lap so far. In fact, this lap could take him right to near Dan Watts if he gets a good final couple of corners. Dan's on a slower lap so far. Oh, he's lost a little bit of time. He was a bit too cautious in that final corner, but he still pops it into P2. 6/10 further back. Lost about 3/10 in that final corner. So the time is there. Matt does improve on that last lap, up to P4 now. The one to watch, though, let's have a look at the silvers. So Van Sander doing a great job with the BMW at the moment. This is a really good pace from that BMW. It looks, obviously, the BMW seems to be strong around here in the wet. But I hear this a lot where, you know, certain drivers, they say, oh, you know, that car's better in the wet than others. And yeah, it might be, but you still got to be able to drive that thing fast. You give me that BMW around here, I guarantee you I won't be anywhere near as fast as Dan Watts just because it's a good car. So it's also about the driver. The car can be good, but you've still got to be able to drive it. And that is it. I want to see Carney. Mustache. Of course not, I was going to say. Good man, Brian. I was about to disown you for about 3 seconds only, but I was about to disown you. Oh, that is Paul Cook off the track there. Christoph Holzer at the moment in P4. He'll be looking to improve his qualifying position at the moment. Jennings at the moment as well. Not able to do a lap just yet. And I think he's actually on an out lap at the moment, so he might have had a bit of an off. It's a good track here, though. I do like this track. I did have a quick go in the Bentley earlier in the practice session, and I must admit, I can't do this game anymore. Matt Whitburn sticks it at the top. Just at the top. 0.05 of a second in front of Dan Watts. There you go. That is a lap for the ages. Let's see if Dan has anything he can do about that. They both started new laps at the moment. Dan is on a faster lap at the moment, but we'll see how it goes. It's neck and neck between those two. Jennings is going to come across the line. Is he going to set his first lap? No, yes he does. P2, that's much better. That's where we expect Jennings to be in that Nissan. And at least around that sort of time. He's only just over half a tenth off the top spot as well. So definitely keep an eye on what Levy is about to do. Liam's the other person that we know of. This man, Liam Page in the Mustang. I said it right this time. Dan Watts is on a much better lap, guys. Let's sit on board with this for the rest of it. As we come up across Hilltop into the chicane. Into Hislops. Letting the car just slide. You want it kind of sliding through Knickerbrook just to have the rotation. And he's lost a little bit of time there. He's lost a tenth off of this fastest lap. 2 tenths now. He did have he bogged down as he got the exit. Dan's not had the best quality this season that he normally does. Normally he just goes out there and sticks it straight on the top. But I tell you who's on a faster lap again. That car in front of him. Matt Whitburn is on to improve. They're both looking to improve. Who's going to improve the most as they come out of the final corner? This is going to be really, really tight between these two. Crossing the line. Matt Whitburn crossed the line, does improve. Dan does as well. And it's 7 hundredths of a second, sorry. Now covers the top two with Sigurd Refsvik also about to come down into Hislop's corner, chicane. Doesn't take as much curb as Dan. Does really hug that inside one, though, which is what you want to do. I'm still waiting for these 6 seconds, refs. Ben Nergard! What a lap. That puts him right into the thick of things. Top 3 for Ben Nergard. Let's see how he gets on with that. Levy Jennings has now popped it into P6. That is a fabulous lap from Levy Jennings in that Nissan. So Sigurd Refsvik about to finish the lap using all the track and some. I was worried he was going to hit the grass there. Get a good exit. He's not really improving on this lap though. So he's got to take it to his fellow countryman Ben in this final lap that he's got. If he's going to do anything about it. Levy Jennings is on another good lap. So yeah, Paul Sadlowski half a second better than... Oh, Liam has decided to box and that's enough. So Liam has boxed. And looks like Paul is the other Mustang that's struggling around here at the moment. And Paul Cook has also done the same. He has boxed. So Matt Whitburn is still improving, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes out the final corner. Although he's not improving as much. Oh, he is improving. Oh my God, this can be so tight. Oh, 400ths of a second between these two drivers. That is incredible. Ben Nergard crosses the line. Does he improve? No, he does not. Paul Sadlowski is going to come across the line. He needs a better lap. And he doesn't manage to get it. But Refs is on for a good lap, or a much better lap than what he was on. So is Levy Jennings as well. Levy Jennings might be trouble in the top 5 with it. Oh no, he's just lost it. I think he's absolutely... Yeah, he's lost that, unfortunately. Oh, no, sorry, he crosses the line, that's why. He did cross the line, and he did improve. Only a tenth further back. A tenth and a bit further back than Sigurd Refsvik. Refsvik was on a better lap. He was on 3 tenths better, and he needed it, really. Because Paul Sadlowski's pipped him to P4. And, unfortunately, Refs is not going to improve enough to take it. 1/100th of a second between him and Paul. These guys are all going to be quick. Ben could be sitting watching battles in front and behind him at this rate, and Liam will be trying to move forward. Trust me, Liam will move forward in this race. So just keep an eye out for Liam in this race. Ben Nergard, I think, is still on a lap. Ben Nergard is still on a lap. So he is still able to take this one. And also Paul Sadlowski, although Paul Sadlowski isn't able to improve on this lap so far. Oh, and Ben just ran it too deep. You heard the car, the revs drop where he was just trying to let the car slow down and roll through the corner. And he lost half a second. He just took it a little bit too much pace. I think I hear the short shifts. He knows it. He knows it. Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Whitburn from Dan Watts, from Ben Nergard, from Paul Sadlowski. So there we go. Interesting fight brewing. Trust me, I think this is going to be, even though there's only 18 drivers, there's going to be plenty of action on the track, especially when it's wet. Slippery when wet. That's what we say, right? Slippery when wet. All right, the server will move forward in a little second. So while it does that, I'm going to get a drink, and I will leave you with... Oh, no, we'll just go for it. We'll just go for it. Why not?
Conditions. Watch out for curbs and exit, and remember to brake early.
Yeah, brake early. Absolutely, that's what you do. Okay, so let's go with... If it will actually let me do it. Automatic grid walk. Here we go. Brought to you by ACC. So, Matt Whitburn on pole position from Dan Watts alongside him in the BMW. Don't forget, Matt is also an RTO driver, although it's an authentic daughter's livery on that Honda. And then in row 2, we have Ben Nergard alongside his fellow countryman. No, sorry. No, Sigurd Resvik is behind him. I forgot. Sorry. Paul Sadlowski pipped Sigurd to P4. And the German driver in the Mustang is in front of Sigurd Resvik, and that is rounding off the top part of the pros because Levy Jennings managed to split them in the in the Nissan GTR, and then Liam Page, you can see him just over the back of the rear wing there in the other Mustang, the Ford Performance Mustang, driving for SOP. Alongside him is the silver driver of Ivan Van Sander, sorry, and then we have Christoph Holzer in the Porsche for Raga Nation Endurance. Good to see Holzer with a really good qualifying. Paul Whitburn, that is a fantastic... We didn't see Paul's lap, but that is a great result. P4 for Paul Whitburn in the silvers. Watch what he can do from there. Paul Cook in the Ferrari, the only Ferrari on the grid, alongside Simon Kret in the BMW. That's another car to watch out for this race because he will be quick. And then we move into the secondary of the AMS. Thomas Lovrick looking to see if he can just... All he has to do is finish in a good result here, and that will keep him really into the title hunt. But Nigel Woodcock is one of those trying to chase him down, so he will not want him to finish in front of him, so keep an eye on that battle throughout this race. Lucas Tresser in the gold and black BMW. Alongside Daniel Solis, second season in RTO, brother and twin brother of Tom. So good luck to you, Daniel. I'm sure your brother is rooting for you. And Sokolovsky in the Aston, the only Aston in the grid at all for this season. And alongside Short in the Porsche. So there we go. We've got around about 40 seconds before race starts, or before they take to the grid and they start rolling. So we'll move to the Helicam. We'll sit on P4, which we normally do, which is Paul Sadlowski, and that helps us be able to see, hopefully, all the grid. There is no steward for lap 1, so any incidents will be looked at after the race. So we hope that they will be taking it nice and steady for lap 1. But I can guarantee you right now, I'll be very surprised if the fast left-hander before the hairpin, people don't go off the track and end up in the wall. I will be shocked. But there are some good standards in RTO league racing, and I expect that to continue in this race. So Matt gets the drivers underway, 2x2 formation. It looks like they need an arc at this point with the weather that we've had in this country over the last couple of weekends. If you are watching this back, I hope you've been safe and your sound and all your friends and family are safe, because it has not been pleasant, especially if you're in South Wales. There's a lot of flooding, so I genuinely hope that you guys are good. LMU snob, I know, right? That's what it was. You like suspension that works properly. I do. I don't like a pogo stick underneath me. Much exciting building. Let's hope there is no pileup. I really hope that we don't get a pileup, and I believe that we won't get pileups. So there we go, off the line. Matt does get a good start. He does manage to just hold off Dan into the first corner. And Ben heads off Paul, and I think so far so good. Everyone's managed to make it around the first corner. They have. Paul Whitburn's managed to make up a place in front of Christoph Holzer in that first part as well. Dan Watts is tucked in behind Matt Whitburn as they go through the first part of the lap. Let's have a look at the position data. Let's keep you on that. So that's your movers and shakers at the start of this race. You can see the top 8 staying exactly where they were, apart from Sigurd Resvik putting one up on the outside of Paul Sadlowski. Is he going to... Oh, they bang doors. The two teammates puts refs on the grass. Now refs has got to try and cover off Levy Jennings as they come into the chicane at Britain's. Oh, and there is contact at the back. That is Paul Whitburn again. Somehow always manages to find some damage somewhere in the first part of the race. Let's have a look and see what goes on here. we'll try and keep an eye on this as we go through. Christoph Holzer, it was that makes the contact in the Porsche that you see there, the number 60 Porsche. And this is what it is. It's so difficult at this time in the race. You've got spray, you've got people moving around. You just miss your braking. And he does. He just misses his braking. Paul is like a magnet. I feel so sorry for this guy. He is just like an absolute magnet when it comes to having accidents at the start of races. For some reason, everyone just likes the back end of that McLaren. And I just keep an eye on him because he's got good pace in that car. I'm sure he'll come back through the grid. And it might be a bit of a saviour, really, that he's off the track at the start. So we'll see how it goes. But straight away, Matt takes the lead from Dan Watts at the start. Keeps his lead, from the qualifying. And is building that 1 second gap. Not that he needs it because there's no DRS in this game. But he keeps that gap. Oh, and that is Lucas Tresser gone off the track there. What's gone on there? Has he got on the curbing on the exit? Bet he does. And he does. And unfortunately, rear-wheel drive Beamer say no. And he rejoins in a good manner. Yep. So he's flashing someone. Not sure what's going on there. Looked like Sokolowski managed to get up ahead of him in the AMs. So all the AMs and Paul Cook is moved up a couple of places. Holzer, Kret. Oh no, what's happened to Kret? Once again at the start of the race, doing a great job in quali, and then having it all to do again once we get into race. But let's hope he doesn't get any penalties this time moving forward in the race, because if that's what scuppered him last race. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Someone's knocked the tyres over. That bet you any money that was Dan Watts. I'll guarantee it on that first lap. Guarantee it. Nigel Woodcock. Oh, and that is Sokolowski going very wide. And Nigel Woodcock up into P11 from that. I told you, honestly, the wet creates absolute chaos. It really, really does. Yeah, I mean, it was a big hit. It was a big hit. So we'll have to see what his lap times are when they get the first lap through. Dan Watts does the new fastest lap of the race, as you can see at the top of your screen there. 37.2. He's got that gap down. Let's keep instead of doing that, let's go session best relative. No, we don't want session best relative. We want race gaps. There we go. So that's your gaps on the screen, so you can see the different distance between each driver. 0.8 is the gap. It was 1 second at the start of the last lap, so keep an eye on that one. I don't think Dan's going to let Matt go. Oh, he goes a bit deep there. I think he got just on the curb as he braked. And yeah, he's lost a 10th, and Matt's gained a 10th so far on this lap. Ben Nergard doing an absolute fantastic job in that Mustang. He's my new pilot friend, is Ben. Going to be getting Microsoft Flight Sim. He's got some gear coming for it as well, so we're doing some more flying. Van Sander is all over the back of Liam Page. Liam Page is really struggling in that Mustang. He really is. Got the Beamer of Van Sander in the silver, really looking to get past him, because the rival that he's after is Levy Jennings. And he's just in front of Liam Page here. Yeah, Van Sander P6 in the title race at this time. So we jump on board the split account. Going through the first corner. Oh, Old Hall corner. Had a lot of understeer going in there. Carried a bit too much speed, I think. And that's why that caught him out a little bit. Gustav Holzer managed to get up in front of Tresser as well here. So Holzer back up to P12. Levy Jennings leading the Silvers. Thomas Loverick is doing a great job in the AMs at the moment, leading the AM charge. Nigel Woodcock trying to chase him down, 4.2 back. So at the moment, Loverick on his own, able to place the car where he wants to and keep that pace up. Lucas Tresser is off the track. I bet any money he goes wide through the fast left-hander, as I've said before. This is a replay that we're on board now. Wait, what? What is going on there? Why could I see people behind him? Yeah, he runs it really well. This is the problem. You kind of got to aim for the gap, which he doesn't manage to do. And unfortunately, that's him gone round. And yeah, so but I don't know why we had Paul Sadlowski and refs in his mirror there for some reason. That was really, really unsettling. I thought, what was going on there? But these two got together at the start of the race. Paul and refs. This is for bragging rights in RTO. Refs has got an excuse. He's trying to get used to triple screens, although he did tell me it was making him 6 seconds quicker. New fastest lap from Dan Watts, 1:37.1. Half a tenth quicker than Matt Whitburn, who both did their fastest laps on that previous lap. You can see the purple timer next to Dan's name. As we look back over the rear wing of Paul Sadlowski, a Mustang sounding beautiful. Dan Watts is actually all over the back of Matt now. The problem with this track is once you get up on the back of someone, it's so difficult to overtake. You literally have to British touring car it and get them to make a mistake. Ref's really looking to stick his nose around there, moving it in the background, trying to unsettle Paul. But I tell you now, it takes a lot more. You have to get out of bed a lot earlier than that to unsettle Paul Sadlowski in a Mustang. So that's nearly the first 8 minutes gone now in the race. Plenty of action still to come. They'll start making their pit stops around about 25 minutes to 35 minutes in the race. That sort of 10-minute window is usually when you start seeing people. And I'll tell you what, look at this man. He's already up P15 after having that accident at the start. Oh, I say accident. He did nothing wrong. He had someone decide to take a chunk out the back of his McLaren. And that will be looked at after the race, I'm sure of it. But trust me, this man will be on a charge. He's got 3 more drivers in front of him. And he will catch them up pretty quickly, I think. Yeah, half a second quicker than the guys in front on that lap. So within about sort of 5 or 6 laps, he'll be on the back of these guys in front of him. Maybe even earlier than that, I think, to be honest. And then he can see if he can do anything about getting up to Christoph Holzer and trying to challenge back towards the middle of the Silvers. He's got plenty of time left to go in this race. So there we go. And I tell you what, refs is basically pushing that Mustang along at the moment, as is Dan Watts pushing the Honda forward at the front. Once again, we saw this in Suzuka. Matt was able to have really good pace in the first opening 10 minutes, and then Dan just clawed it back. He does it, for some reason he does this. It's like he's Lewis Hamilton in Formula 1, where he just cheats the tyres a little bit better than most in that opening stint, and then all of a sudden it all comes back to him. Again, Dan does so much prep work. I mean, even at the start of this, he was doing race runs before, so he knew what tyre pressures were going to lose during the race when he's hitting all the curbs. And obviously, you got a little bit more moisture on the track at the moment. You can see a dry line starting to form, so the lap times are starting to come down. They are starting to creep down to what they would have been in the original practice session, about a second off at the moment. But the rain is meant to stay with us throughout the entire race. So Race Room's new DLC is Super Touring Cars. Is it, Hunt? I did not know that. I'll have to have a look at that. I like Race Room. Race Room's a good game. Very good game. It's just a shame. I think it needs an update. I think they need to do a full update on like the UI and everything. So on board with Dan Watts. Able to throw it into the hairpin. Brakes really deep up into the middle, gets a real sharp turn and a good exit, and then takes all the curb that is available. I told you it was definitely him taking those cushions out. Those tyres out, cushions. Yes, Joe, that's what they do. They put cushions around tracks these days. I need to go to bed. And again, all the curb. All the curb. I mean, Dan bought all the games, so why not? Oh, nice, Hunt. Okay, I'll have to have a look. Definitely have to have a look at that one. Sigurd Resvik still all over the back of Paul Sadlowski, so we'll keep an eye on that one at the moment as well. There's a bit of a new tussle going on between Paul and Simon Crett, and this lap he's going to be on him very, very quickly. 0.8 is the gap you can see on your screen. Well, yep, well, fluctuating between 1 and 0.8. Ben Nergard just putting in some really strong lap times. So I think the only thing that Sigurd Resvik can do here is maybe try and do the opposite to what Paul Sadlowski does on pit strategy, and maybe try and get some clean air. But the thing is, again, you don't want to pit too early and end up getting caught in traffic, because you will end up just having the most torrid time trying to come through them, and you need them to box. It's on a track like this, it's almost worth just boxing late and just making sure you get clean air when you come out, and having the most amount of clean air you can get to make sure that you benefit as much as you can. Exactly. The barrier needs to be a cushion. A cushion. So my race is over. People still don't get it. That you. Well. We had that chat earlier as well. Not sure when the Super Junior guys is out though. They just released the 24 DM. Oh, nice. I must admit, when AC Evo starts, we're looking to do potentially V8 supercars and maybe DTM or touring cars, something like that. Something different to the GT3 norm. And that's something that we're really, really interested in trying to do, is something along those lines. So Ben just doing a really good job, just keeping the same lap time over and over again. And, well, I say that, then he goes half a second quicker on that lap. Puts in his fastest lap of the race, a 37.0. To give you an idea, that's only 0.2 off the fastest lap. Ben is driving absolutely supremely. He'll be telling me to shut up right now, because that means I'm trying to jinx him, because I seem to have a commentator's curse. So I'm not allowed to do any professional, not for the fact that I'm rubbish at this, but the fact that I'm not allowed to do any professional commentating, because I'll probably end up ruining it for someone. Anyway, Dan Solis trying to taste down Nigel Woodcut for second in the AMS. Loverick's checked out at the moment. Jennings is checked out at the front as well of the Silvers. P6, that is a great bit of racing, up with the pros. And Paul Sadlowski has just been overtaken by Sigurd Resvik. We need to watch this back. So let's have a watch of this. I just saw that switch around. Ref's really trying to hurry. Oh, he's going to run it really wide. He's had to lift, and that means that Ref's is going to try and do an RTO on his RTO fellow driver. And this time, there is no banging of doors. That is a great move from Sigurd Resvik, throwing it back to... that's what triples can do for you. That's what the triples do. It's not give you 10 seconds. It means you can see drivers on the inside and outside. It means you can do those kind of moves. That's all it is. It's not talent or anything like that. Just triple screens. 8 out of 19 drivers bronze. Oh, lovely. I'll try and be there for that. Yeah, Hunt, we'd love to see you in that. Definitely. So, can Dan try and replicate what refs did in that last exchange around the hairpin, or is he going to be stuck and do some strategy? Because, I mean, Dan Watts has won a couple of races this season just on strategy alone by getting his pit stops absolutely spot on, absolutely nailing it into the pit, stopping on his markers, getting it out of the markers as soon as he needs to, and then getting on with his race. Where his title challengers, Liam Page and Matt Whitburn, have failed to do so. But again, you can see how close he is. He's just all over the back of him. The Honda gets such good exits. It's got such good traction out of the corners. You watch, we'll close up on him on the braking. It's that concertina effect. But then as he gets out of the corner, this Honda will just squirm and go. There you go. Off he goes. And Dan just cannot live with that in the Beamer at the moment. Typical BMW, that is. Just doesn't want to go anywhere when it's damp. Wants to go sideways. Is he going to have a look into Lodge Corner? No, he's not. Right, let's check in with the leader of the Silvers. Levy Jennings doing a great job holding Liam Page up in the pros. I'm sure, I tell you what, Liam is the one to watch for next week at Imola in that thing. That is going to be an absolute monster around Imola. Is the Mustang, as long as it's not wet. But Levy Jennings doing a great job in the Silvers. Last week, the only thing I think that stopped him from having a good result was the fact that he got disconnected. His internet went and unfortunately lost connection, so he'll be hoping over the next 43 minutes that he doesn't have any of that. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, hello. What's going on there? So Short was in front of Tressa. You can see Tressa there. Does he have a bit of a moment and Tressa has to take avoiding action? I think that's what we're going to see. Through the double right-hander, I think you're going to see him either sideways on the curb on the exit. Oh, he's even before then. Yep. And that's going to hit the wall. Oh, and he's going to come across the track. Oh, my word. That was very well done from Tressa. Cat-like reflexes from Lucas Tressa. And hang on a minute. He's back ahead of him. How's that happened? Tressa's made a mistake and now has him back in front of him. Sokolovsky struggling in the Aston in the race. His lap times aren't too bad though. If he can just nail a few more laps. I wonder if he's taking the wrong tyres or something for the race. Now, it looks like he's got grip there. So, we'll have to see that in a minute. Once again, these two still at it. Dan really cannot find a way past that Honda. And, tell you what. Paul has dropped off the back of Refs. Refs has taken the fight to his fellow countryman. 3/10 quicker than Ben on that previous lap. So, that gap will come down between now and the pit stop, so Ben will need to make sure he tries to manage that gap. And it really is all about the pit stops now. It's all about where can they get in and then back out again and make sure they get clean air. That's Liam Jinx for next week. Shh, don't tell him. Raf's just going to give him 50 kilos, it's fine. I'm joking before anyone asks. He's going to give him a caravan. New boxes for Tressa. New boxes, I think, yeah. I think he needs a whole new seat. Maybe that's why he made a mistake again and Short got back past him. Maybe he was slipping around in his seat. Yuck. Paul Whitburn doing a good little job. Up in front of Nigel Woodburn now. No, Woodcut, sorry. Just read, Joe. This is the replay. Is he going to get a much better exit? I think he is. Oh, no, I tell you what. I'm telling you now. Nige did not fight that. He knew that that was not his fight. And he's on for a P2 at the moment. And if he fights him, then it leaves him open to Dan Solis, who is on a charge at the moment as well. Simon Crack on his way back through. All of those guys are all doing roughly the same lap times as well. Although Dan Solis and Simon Cret were a little bit slower on that last lap. I think they made mistakes somewhere. Gustav Holzer. So this is silver on Am. So Holzer in the red and black and white Porsche. Behind Thomas Lovrek in the RTO Porsche. I don't think Thomas is going to fight this. He does not. Like, he leaves that door wide open. Even lays a carpet out for him. It says, come on you go. I don't need to fight you. You're not in my race. But now he can maybe use him for a bit of pace. I don't know. Once again, Dan's still all over it. This is going to be a fight throughout the entire race. Dan's not had this much. Or Matt. They've never had this much TV time on RTO because normally one of them checks out. But now these two are pushing each other along to get quicker and quicker. And Matt is a supremely gifted driver. It was really good that we managed to grab him and bring him into the fold at RTO. Oh, that's really wide this time. That's going to give Dan a bit of a chance. He didn't get a very good exit. But he still manages, that car just leaves everything for dust once it gets some grip. He is struggling on those tyres. I think Dan's pushing him at the moment. Fastest lap from Dan Watts, 36.4. So Dan is having a much better time. He caught him by 3/10 on that lap. So obviously with the lap before that, dropped back a bit. I think if Dan gets in front, or Dan gets a good stop and gets in front, I think that's it. I think Dan's going to check out as long as he don't make a mistake. And I tell you what, the fight to watch now is for the final step of the podium. We're going to have Sigurd Resvik all over the back of Ben. And I tell you now, as much as those two are friends and Ben's a lovely, lovely guy, I've got a funny feeling Elbows will be out because he will not want to give that podium up. And I hope he does fight to the death because he definitely deserves a podium. But Refs is on a comeback trail in this season to have a strong end to it. And it'll be interesting to see which one of them comes out on top. Lovric still 1.8 back from Holzer now. He's dropped off the back of him. Holzer's just checked out a little bit. But he's on his own because the next one to him is Paul Whitburn. Paul Whitburn is lapping around about a second and a half quicker. So Paul will be on the back of him pretty quick. So Holzer really needs to get that job done actually on Thomas Lovric to move away from Paul, who's trying to fight his way back up potentially into a podium place. He needs to find about 14 seconds over the next half an hour or so. Oh, both of them really struggling with the rears now. The rain continues to fall here at Oulton Park. Ew. Ew. I think Dan has definitely got the pace on Matt, and Matt knows it, and I think Matt's really just trying to... The thing is, when you're in the lead, it's really important that you try and focus on your race in front of you, not focus on what's behind you. They're coming up to a back marker now, so they're starting to lap Sokolovsky, I think that is. Oh, what's happened here? Nigel Woodcut has lost it. Oh, no. That's on the wet stuff. Yeah, so now they're coming up to the Aston Martin. Dan will want to be getting as close as he can to that Honda. And he gets blue flags. You can see it waving, so he's obliged to get out of the way. I think Dan smells that this could be his opportunity. Normally the blue flags they're pretty good here. Flashing going on, I think, from Matt there. Yeah, and he does just jump straight out of the way. That's really good driving from Sokolovsky. Very well done. Got out in the right place. So Dan's plan scuppered for another lap. But yeah, they're still a bit further back from people. Daniel Solis is boxed, the first of the drivers to pit in the AMS. So Dan Solis is now... Oh, in fact, what I should have done, actually, to help you guys out here. I think if I do that, hopefully Dan's will go green when he starts moving. Yep, there you go. So now you get to see the yellow mark. So we've all got a yellow mark. They've all got one stop to do. It's as if I know what I'm doing, right? So half a second quicker, Refs, over the last couple of laps. Refs is on the charge once he got past Paul Sadlowski, who's... Oh, no, something's happened to Paul. Paul's had an off in that last lap. 10 seconds slower, so he's now back behind Liam Page, and Levy Jennings is up to P5 in the GTR. I tell you, honestly, you just keep it on the track here, you're going to have a chance. I promise you. Sokolovsky's off the track. Where's that? No, okay, we've got more Alonso. Oh, that's a wall again. Oh, my word. Yep, and we managed to get going. That's caused a bit of a problem. Oh, Dan was all over the curbs on the exit there. He's really trying to push. I think Dan's trying to do everything he can to throw off Matt. What I was saying earlier on is that you need to watch forward. When you're in the lead, you just want to be watching your laps. You don't want to have to keep watching behind you. The good thing about having someone like Dan who's a teammate, and also just being Dan, and people like Refs as well, and Ben, you know they're not just going to absolutely send it from 2 or 3 car lengths back. They drive, you know, fair, hard but fair, and that's one good thing. It means you can concentrate on your driving. But what Dan's trying to do is just trying to move around in his mirrors, just to keep him looking backwards every now and again, just to keep his attention on him, and maybe keep that Honda sliding a little bit so that he can have a bit of a chance to make a move on him. Both of them running extremely wide there. And yeah. The only thing is, you won't know whether these guys have got penalties or not. Anyone's got penalties in this race. So Sokolovsky's now decided to box. You can see the in marker. And Lucas Tresser has just made a move. That must have been a good one. Let's have a look at that. Going into the chicane up the inside. Shaw doing a really good job keeping it out of the way. Not just turning in on him. That's really good to see. And Paul Whitburn has now made it past Christoph Holzer, but he has boxed. And Sokolovsky's been in the pits, but he hasn't fulfilled his stop, I don't think. No, he hasn't. I think he just drove straight through the pits. I think he had a drive-through. He must have had a drive-through for track limits, because he's just driven straight through the pits. So there you go. Christoph Holzer's now boxed as well, like we said. Trusser's in. And so is Schroed as well. So all the boxes starting to happen. I said between 35 minutes to 25 minutes will be the times. He had a DT. He did. I thought so. I thought so. Well, at least you still gained some. That's a first time, right? That's got to be a first time. So these guys are really all over. So, oh no, this is going to be interesting. This is it. This is Dan's chance, because they're now coming up to the back markers in the Porsche. Is the Porsche going to allow them to see them? He has gone short. He's done a really good job and just kept it really wide. Let both drivers through. Jan had to check up just a little bit there. So that's given Matt just a tenth or two breathing room. But Shaw did a great job keeping it out of the way. The back marker's doing a really good job there. Liam Page back past Paul Sadlowski. What's going on there? There's a good fight happening between these guys now. It looked like Paul had got past him for a second. I wonder if Liam runs wide or something. I think Paul has damage on the front of that Mustang. And Daniel Solis getting out of the way. And I saw that he got past him, so maybe not. Maybe that was just a timing glitch there. Apologies for that. And that's just going to roll through. Anyway, Paul Sadlowski is all over the back of him, though. So we've got 3 scraps going on. We've got Dan Watts, Matt, this is in the pros, for the lead. Sigurd Restvik, Ben Nergård for the final step on the podium. And then bragging rights between the 2 Mustangs in Paul Sadlowski and Liam Page. Who's going to pull the trigger first? Is anyone boxed on this lap? No, Cret has. Oh my word, that was very deep. Paul had to really check up there. And, yeah, do you know what? I think Liam's pulled a blinder there. I think he's seen that little bit of a gap and thought, right, if I box now and have a good stop, when I come out, I can be back in front of him, and then it's a race to the finish. Cret exits the pits in front of you there. The BMW on the left of your screen. And gives plenty of room to the leaders coming through. Right, Sigurd Restvik. Told you it wouldn't be too many laps before he's on the back of his fellow countryman in Ben Nergård. Ben was running a really good race. But he's still running the same times as well. So it's not like he's dropped out of the times. He's banging in very similar lap times throughout this stint. Some of these greens are not working, I don't think, on the pits, so you might have to ignore them a little bit. Thomas Lovrick is now out. So is Thomas Lovrick on track? He is, and it's not gone yellow, so it's still yellow for him. So, although, did he have a drive-through? That's very similar times. I wonder, did he have a drive-through? Or was he boxed? Because he's... okay. Strange. Ben Nergård There's a little mark next to him. I think he's either gone off the track or they've made contact. Because these two are very... Oh my god, that Mercedes is not looking happy at the moment in the damp stuff. And this is going to be interesting as they come down Denton's all the way into turn number 3, Cascades. The BMW is going to be on the outside on this one. And oh, he has to... Yeah, Ben gives him the room. But refs has to go right to the edge of the track. And I think they did maybe touch. I don't know. I think more that he went off the track. So there you go. Van Sander is now in P6, but Levy Jennings is in the box. That's why. And both of them are in the box, actually. So pit stop starting to happen, as you see. We will keep an eye on some of these. I'm not quite sure why Thomas Loverick's managed to do a... I think he's had a drive-through, I think. Nige Woodcote hasn't been in the pits yet. Lucas Tressa hasn't been in the pits yet. He has. It's very strange. I'm thinking he must have had a drive-through. He must have had a drive-through. Tiny gains are still gains, my friend. And once again, Dan's thinking... do you know what? I've got a funny feeling Dan's going to box this lap. I think Dan's going to box this lap. I think. I'll place money on it. Penny. Is he? Oh, no, he does the opposite. Ah, okay, so it's Matt's going to box. Right, so this is Dan's time to shine. So fastest lap that he's done is a 36.4. All right, the last lap, 37.3. So he's getting really held up, I think, by the Honda. So if he can just do a very good lap and then nail his box, then he's going to be good. But he's got Paul Cook up ahead of him in the Ferrari. So Paul, he's going to hope that Paul, he doesn't catch him in the chicanes. Because if he does, then I think he's going to be coming back out in P2. He does have the fastest lap at the moment. So that even if he finishes second to Matt, if that stays the way it is, he will keep P1 in the standings. And it'll be down to Matt to win and get the fastest lap to level it up. And then it'll be done on a count-back situation on who is the champion. And I'll tell you what, Dan's on a very, very good lap here. And I think Paul's got right out of the way. That's really good to see from Paul, although he's waiting until the end of the straight to do it. Oh, my word. I thought Paul was going to hit the back of him then. I thought, oh, my word. That's why we say just let them go and don't wait to the braking zone to do it. Do it nice and early. But that was good to see. Rafs is still all over the back of Ben. One of these two needs to pit. Which one do we think? Everyone has started to box now. I am still confused at Thomas Loverick. I really am. I'm not sure how this is what's going on here. If he's boxed and he's only had 15 seconds in the pits, we need to watch that back. Stan Watts, it has now boxed. Right, so where is our man? Paul Whip. Nope, that's not the right one. I was going to say, wait, he's in the pits, but it's Matt. Matt, who we're looking for. Who's had a very good stop. 17 seconds down the pit lanes. 27.2 on the stops. That's very, very good. In fact, that's probably one of the fastest ones we've seen out of all of them. In fact, that is the fastest one we've seen out of all of them. So, just to give you an idea, right, of stopping on your markers, guys, okay, in ACC. If you stop on your markers, 27.2, okay? If you don't, 35.9. 8 seconds you can lose because of that. So he crosses the line. Where is Dan? Dan's still in the box. What's going on? Matt is absolutely blazed ahead. Matt has had a brilliant stop. Dan has not. Dan has not. I think Dan changed tyres. 32.5 on the stops. 27.2 from Matt. 5 seconds swing puts Dan 5 seconds behind. 5.7. So, yeah, that is exactly what it is. So, Dan, I think, changed tyres. Matt did not. That's the difference between these two drivers. Liam Page also didn't change tyres. So, but I know for a fact that the tyres go off, and I think you're going to see Dan absolutely cream up to the back of Matt over the next few laps. So keep an eye on that one. Sigurd Resvik leading, doing a long, long stint. I said 25 minutes. You're putting me out here, Mr. Resvik. You've not given me what I said that was going to happen. So just to give you an idea, Liam Page has definitely gone in. Van Sander has definitely gone in. Loverick has, but I'm not sure how. He's done no stop. And yet refs now boxes. So he's trying to beat his fellow countryman of Ben Nergard, who's coming through the chicane now. Who is going to get the best stop out of these guys? I tell you, Ben's done a good stop. Well, unless he didn't take tyres. If he didn't take tyres, then it's not so good, because that's 3 seconds he's lost compared to Dan and Matt. Oh, sorry, Matt and Liam. So he's coming round the final couple of corners. Refs is right at the end of the... So Refs was the first person in. Matt goes through. Dan goes through. Be interesting to see that gap in a minute. Ben Nergard is coming over the... This is going to be so close. This is going to be so close. He's going to be behind him. And there you go. That early stop is what does it. I tell you now. 2 seconds on the box. So I don't think Ben took tyres. Refs definitely did. So I think you're going to find that there's a tyre offset there as well. Paul Sadlowski took tyres. And the Mustang ahead of him did not. Thomas Lovrick, I'm a bit shocked because you haven't taken... Definitely hasn't had a stop properly. He's just driven, as far as I can see, he's driven through the pits. So I'm a bit confused about what's going on here. But we will see. So to give you an idea, Sigarestovic up 1 place. Liam Page up 2 places so far. Paul Sadlowski down 2 places. Started P4, is now P6. Thomas Lovrick is 7th, up 6 places. Van Sander is exactly where he started, P8. Paul Cook, P9. Paul Whitburn only down 1 place now from where he started. So keep an eye on him. 12 seconds off Christoph Holzer. Looking to try and get a podium. Trust me, anything can happen over the next few 22 minutes or so. There's still plenty to go, trust me. If one of them makes a mistake, he could be right in on it. And Dan has had a scruffy lap on this one. 37. He did a couple of tenths quicker, though, than Matt. But he's not. He's definitely had a scruffy one because he's 5.7 Mac. So he's got it all to do if he wants to beat Matt Whitburn now. But to give you an idea, Matt is 6 tenths slower than his best lap, whereas Dan is only 3 tenths, and he's obviously made a mistake. Or I had to get past the back marker or something. So you keep an eye on that time. I guarantee you by 10 minutes to go, that'll be down to a couple of seconds if there's no mistakes and no hold-ups. Or not too much hold-ups from the back markers. Paul Cook is off the track and has managed to rejoin. Levy Jennings all over the back of Paul Whitburn. Wait, what's happened to Levy Jennings? Levy Jennings was in the lead. What has happened here? Something's happened to Levy Jennings. He is now in 5th place, in the silvers. And Lovrick has boxed again. So Lovrick did have a drive-through. That's what it was. And he doesn't take tyres this time. So Lovrick back out. And he does manage to keep hold of... Just hold of the lead. So there you go. But Levy Jennings is now all over the back of Paul Whitburn. I did not notice that. I was finding that strange that he was on the way for a podium, Paul. And I didn't notice that Levy has managed to drop himself over... Well, maybe he's had to go in... Maybe he's had a drive-through or an SG30. That's the only thing I can think of is for the fact that he's must have gone back in the pits. Because he is now all the way down. He's over 40 seconds behind now. Van Sander has stopped, so don't ignore that one, and so has Matt Whitburn. In fact, to unconfuse you now, let's just take them out of the way. Everyone has stopped, so you can get them all done moving forward. Yo, Lynx, how's it going? Sorry, I was trying to keep an eye on all the shakers and movers. Dan Watts is half a second quicker on that last lap. So we'll see how he gets through this one. If he can do half a second, it's 10 laps. Like I said, 10 minutes to go, he'll be on the back of him. So that's all he needs to keep doing. And you can see him in the distance there. Sigurd Resvik quicker than... Yeah, 4 tenths quicker than Ben Nergard in that last lap. He can also see his title challenger as well. Liam Page. What has happened to Liam? Liam is boxed and I think is going to be out of the race. He's been in there for quite some time. And that means that... what is Liam's number? 7. No, he hasn't had a yellow flag for him, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But Paul is now on his own. 16 seconds back from Sigurd Resvik. He'll be trying to have some fun now, guarantee it. But refs 3/10 up on that previous, on his best lap, I think, as well. So this could be into the 36.9. So this was the leader pace from refs now. Yep, 36.995. That is leader pace. 3/10 off the fastest lap set by Dan Watts at the moment. Literally bang on, pretty much 3/10 off as well. Jennings all over the back of Paul now. Oh, is he gonna have a look at the inside this time? Oh, that's very wide, is it? Oh no, I thought it looked like that McLaren was just going to understeer off the track there. Paul managed to gather that one back up really well. Through Cascades, turn number 3. Honda being really generous at the moment. Levy not doing anything to push it too hard. .6 is the gap at the front. This is going to be going right down to the wire, I promise you. You're too drunk. That's not a bad thing, Tack. Oh, he's going to go for a switchback, is he? No, no, no. Oh, Matt did go a bit too deep, though. That moving around just really unsettled. Matt there. Sorry, Paul there. Oh, my God. I'll get these two right one day. Paul sitting there going, yeah, all right. Oh, it's been one of those streams, Ryan. This is so close between these drivers. This is great to see. I tell you what, Levy Jennings is driving so well. I need to know what's happened. He's had an awful, awful moment somewhere. And the only thing I can think of is he's got an SG30 or something like this, or an SG10 where he's gone into the pits too quick. And he's had to go through the pits to stop again. Ben Nergard has gone off the track, I think. Oh no, there we go. He's fighting Sigurd Resvik. He's lost a lot of time, both of them have on this lap, so they're obviously fighting each other now. And they've got, maybe they were trying to get through Lucas Tresser, I think. Yeah, refs has caught him by 2 seconds on this lap. Is that damage? I think that's damage on the front of the Mustang. I think that is. Someone just jumped in the pits. Lucas Tresser. Is that a drive-through, sir? I think that is a drive-through. I think you're going to see this guy go all the way through the pits and pop straight out the other end. He is. So that's a drive-through for Lucas Tresser. Normally we clear these, but unfortunately we haven't had the help that we normally get this final season. So apologies for that. But Levy Jennings still all over the back of Paul Whitburn. I don't think that's going to be an easy pass, I'll tell you now, because this track is notoriously bad. Ben just needs to place this car in the right places. I mean, and then you'll be fine. You just don't make a mistake, get good exits. That's all you need to do. You can slow your pace down if you want, because there's nothing that Sigurd can do unless he really sends it up the inside, which again, like Dan, is not what they're meant to do, not what they are all about. And I tell you what, Dan has made a mistake on that last lap. He's lost a second. I think that has made it so that Matt can potentially win this now. 14 minutes to go. I would go very well in and say that's what, 10 laps or so? He needs to catch him at a second a lap. He's not doing that even when he was at his pace. In fact, Matt nearly put in his best lap of the race there as well. So maybe taking tyres, Dan's made a mistake there. So who's going to be on the podium, guys? Do we think Ben Nergard in the Mercedes or Sigurd Resvik in the BMW? Which one do you think is going to take it? I'm not drunk. I wish I was, because then I'd have an excuse. Oh my god, that Mercedes does not like it. That's it. That's the move. That is the move. Ben is going to have to fight this round the outside if he really... I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to have to lift. Is he? Oh my word, he's going to try and hold it. He's a hero if he does. No, he doesn't. He has to just check up. And that is refs up into P3. So unfortunate, Ben. That Mercedes just not playing ball and just losing the rear. Not balanced at all in these conditions. But he's done a great job in this race. Oh, and I think that's refs running a little bit wide this time. I think Ben kind of followed him a bit, so both of them didn't get the right run through the corner. And I think Ben's got that damage on the front of the car from whatever, which has not helped him. But he's not one to complain and blame damage. He's normally one that blames himself. All right, well, I'll come back to that in a little bit. Dan is on a charge this lap, though. He's on a couple of tenths quicker in that last lap, and he's about to cross the line. And, oh my word, yeah, 7 tenths he took out of him that lap. 7 tenths, guys. If he can keep doing that, then he's still going to be on the back of him by the end of the race. Thomas Loverick still winning in the AMs. You can see him in the background there. This one here, the Porsche. Been a bit of a lonely race for Thomas Loverick. But closing up on the back of some of the silvers. It's a great performance. But this man, Van Sander, doing an absolute great job keeping it on the black stuff, not causing any too many mistakes, and it's going to mean that he's going to take some big chunks in the Drivers' Championship back towards the front. It could bring it wide open in the silvers, as it normally is in RTO as well. Normally in RTO we have plenty of action in the silvers, the AMs as well, and the pros tend to be dominated by a couple of drivers, but the pros so far this season would have been 3 people, but it's Dan and Matt are going to take it all the way to the final race. But I think all 3 challenges are all going to be up for grab. And maybe the AM's not, actually. That's a good point. I think Thomas Loverick might sew this up this weekend. If he does have a good result and then just comes and turns up next week, I think he wins. So we'll see. We'll have a look at the how much of a gap there is when we start this final round next week. Don't forget, 7 p.m. next week. That's when we're back on live, and we'll be doing the same thing again. Christoph Holzer trying to chase down Van Sander, but Sander's way out. He's checked out, 30 seconds in the lead. Again, it shows you if you don't have mistakes, you have a good pit stop, you can really do some damage and make sure that you get, you know, some really good points. Jennings is still trying to chase him down. What is the... oh, Dan was another 7 tenths quicker on that last lap. This can end up down to the last couple of minutes. But I don't think once Dan gets there, I know he's going to have a tyre delta and he's going to be able to have a lot more grip. I just don't think he's going to do anything of him, though. That's the thing. And I tell you what, this is the best chance Levy Jennings is going to have as they come into... Oh, my word, what's going on with the camera work? We just switched to Headicam. Oh, nope. He's trying to help you around there, Paul. Just go. Go, Paul. Paul, why are you not going? That's the leaders, guys. What the heck? I'll tell you what, Dan will be thanking everyone for that one, because that's really helped him. Unfortunately, Levy leaving his nose there didn't really do any favours. And Lovrik's now trying to chase him down and take another position. Paul Cook is on his way out of the pits. P10. That's fourth for Paul Cook. Was in a podium place, and has now got to try and chase down Jennings. What has he had to stop for? Is he just... Oh, he's had a drive-through, guys. He's had a drive-through. Dan was over a second faster on that last lap. Those tyres have gone, I think, on... Oh, no, wait, that was for the traffic, wasn't it? And Dan getting up the inside of his teammate. Lovrick not holding him up. And now he's after Jennings in the GSR. Sorry, in the GTR. The GSR. Oh, my word, guys. I am... Yeah. Maybe I am drunk. I don't know. So Paul Cook needs to try and take Levy Jennings. You can see Jennings there in the GTR. Paul Cook in the Ferrari at the back. That's for the final place in the Silvers. Jennings back up into Silvers. That is... Wow, interesting. He's up into the podium places again. He's not going to catch 22 seconds unless Holzer makes an almighty mistake, which I do not expect from that man. What is Dan Watts going to do on this lap? He's being held up a little bit, I think, on this lap. I think the gap's settled for this one. Yep. Jennings gets out of his way. Does a really good job of that, moving right out of the way. And that's it. That is the gap for the lead. 7 minutes, 5 laps, I would say. Maybe 4 laps. 4 laps to catch 2.6 seconds. He was bang on the same time on that lap as Matt. If he can catch him by a second on this lap, that'll put Matt under some severe pressure. But he needs to have a really good lap. And the thing is that the main thing about that is when you're trying to chase someone down, don't start trying to up your pace. If you know you're quicker anyway through a tyre delta or whatever it is, don't start trying to up your pace. Just keep doing what you're doing. You catching them is putting them under pressure, and it's already going to make them make mistakes or make them, a bit more defensive, making sure they drive a bit slower so they don't make mistakes. So that's something that you've got in your locker. When you're chasing someone down like Dan is at the moment, he's caught 3/10 in the first sector alone. And he's always mighty in this middle sector because look how much curve he's able to take. The way he set that Beamer up, it's like the old Bentley in 1.7. He can munch those curbs and he runs nice and wide, but I think that's not where you want to be. That's going to slow him down, especially when you want to get good exits, because that's where the Honda really, really plays to its strengths, is on exits of corners. Ben Nergard 3.6 further back now from Sigurd Resvik. I think that's done for the podium places in the pros, unless Sigurd makes a bit of a mistake. Paul Sadlowski is 18.6 further back, obviously with his mistake earlier on in the race. P5 though. Top 5 drivers, all RTO. And then Van Sander in the Silvers, doing a great job in that BMW. For me, driver of the day, I would say, Van Sander. Absolutely fantastic result for you, sir. Got any drivers of the day? Stick them in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know who is your main person. Paul Cook's just got past Lovrick, but again, I don't think Lovrick really fought that one too much, for the simple fact that he's not racing him really. He just wants to get a good race, get it finished, get it done, and take the title home, potentially at this race. Dan is 1.8 seconds now. I tell you, Matt has got so much traction control on the back of that Honda at the moment. You could hear it coming out of the hairpin. And Dan taking tyres though, is it going to be enough of a tyre offset and the pace that he's got? Is he going to have enough to get past Matt Whitburn? Or is Matt going to have to play some games here and just try and hold up his teammate so he doesn't lose the victory? He needs the victory if he's to take towards the title. Otherwise, if Dan wins this race, it sets up Dan just for needing to finish behind him for the final race at Imola next week. checking out the weather for Imola next week. Looks nice and dry in Imola for next week, so there we go. Let's hope it stays that way. Have some dry weather. Man United drew with Ipswich. Well done, Ipswich. Come on. Come on, the tractor boys. That's a good point for them. Anyway, back to the racing. 1.3 is the gap. 2 laps to go. Maybe 3. No, 3 laps to go. So there is 3 laps. So Dan can use this one to just finish closing that gap that he's done over the last couple of laps. He was 8 tenths quicker. He's 8 tenths quicker a lap, guys. Is that enough of a deficit for Dan to be able to take Matt? Or is Matt going to be a wily little fox in that Honda and make it as wide as he can? He's thinking he's going to be trying to make that as wide as a Bentley. And see if he can hold off the charge from Dan Watts in this. I tell you, Dan will be kicking himself for the mistake he made earlier on. Although it kind of paid dividends back when Matt got held up in the chicane. This chicane here now through Hislops, when Jennings and his dad actually. It was actually, yeah, that's a very good point. It was his dad that got in the way. So, yeah, I'm sure he won't be helping him. Won't be thanking him for that one. Extra Christmas presents or Christmas stockings needed, I think. If he doesn't manage to win this race, I still think Matt's got it. The talent that he has, I think he's still going to have enough to hold off Dan. Like what we were saying earlier, just don't make mistakes. Concentrate on good exits. But Dan has got so much. You can see it. He's just closing on him. To quote one of the greatest commentators ever, hand over fist. I have no idea to this day what that means. Anyone help me out with that one? You do have to race next week, Les. You should have won both. Ah, Spoon. You should have, but great job, mate. Great job. I'm guessing you've seen the game, that's why I could say it and you weren't annoyed. So in that lap, 4 tenths was the difference. So Matt actually put in his best lap. He's responding from this title charge that Dan is on. Although Dan is once again on a better lap this lap than he was. In fact, Dan actually put his fastest lap of the race in that last lap, 36.6. So both of these drivers still finding pace in their cars. I just think Dan knows that if he'd done it, he had to do it in quali. And if he'd done it in quali, then it would have been a bit of an easier job in the race. He's had the pace all race, I think. And I think Matt knows it. Oh, someone's lost it in front of us. That is a Porsche ahead of us. That's Short, who's just continued on. Just see him nipping over the hill there. Over Clay Hill. Into Druids. Oh, Dan clipping the curbs. That Porsche is still wide. He's not on the best of laps. He's not actually closed up anything on this lap so far. And he's going to have one more to do it. Is Dan going to have a chance? Or is this going through? I mean, it's going to go to a final race anyway. But is it really going to be 2 points between them? I can see it now. I can see this now. This reverses next week. Oh my word! Matt gets P2 and sorry, wins and gets the fastest lap, and Dan doesn't, and then we end up with a tied result. Oh no, we wouldn't, would we? Because there's 7 points difference. Well, yeah, maybe not. But it's going to put Dan on. If it stays like this, Dan will be leading the championship by 2 points. That's it. Just by this fastest lap that he's got in this race. Levi Jennings has got off the track and continued. Dan Watts still always now all over the back of him. So you can see that. I tell you now, he has slowed down, Matt. He's trying not to make mistakes. Just you can see that, just getting a good exit, not hit curbs. Just concentrate on good exits, and then you know that you've got the job done. Because there's no way even that curb munching Beamer is going to get past him. Look how much curb he can take. He's trying everything he can, Dan. He's throwing everything at this. Trying to take all the corner. You can see him sliding as he comes out of Knickerbrook. Up Clay Hill into Druids for the final time, ladies and gentlemen. No mistakes here. And then you've got the job done, I believe. I think that's going to be game, set, and match. The final corner is just a nice hard braking zone. And Matt is far enough away that Dan is not going to have the chance to send it, although he did get on the grass as he braked there. I think he nearly caused a problem for himself, but there we go. Matt does manage to win round number 4 and puts the title charge all the way to the final round with Dan Watts in P2, and as you can see, Matt slides into victory lane. But rounding off the podium place is Sigurd Resvik, going to come across the line, but winning in the AMS, Thomas Loverick. And I believe that might clinch him the title. Paul Cook finishes in P4 for the Silvers. Been kicking himself. They had a drive-through there. And but Van Sander is going to come along and potentially, I'm not going to say it just yet, but he's had a good race. He's had a very, very good race. Let's see, make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. Nothing happens. Paul Sadlowski is going to come across the line, finish P5. And Liam Page has left the server already. So that's a DNF, I think, there. And Van Sander does win in the Silvers. Congratulations. Driver of the day for me there. Keeping it on the black stuff. Keeping it nice and clean. Christoph Holzer going to come across the line in P number 2. Ben. Ben's giving his teammate a little nudge here. This is, yeah. Anyway, professionalism, guys. Professionalism. That's why you're getting exclamation marks showing up on your timing board up there. And yeah, Christoph Holzer going to come across the line in second. Paul Whitburn did a great job to finish off the race. Daniel Solis is a P2 and Nigel Wook at P3 in the AMS. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 18 drivers started the race. Oh, Liam got a drive-through. Liam got a drive-through. That's what it was. He got a drive-through and then parked the car. So, unfortunately, I think you'll find that that is a DNF, Liam, if you didn't cross the line and finish that. We'll have to check. But that is great results for all involved. 18 drivers took part in the race. 17 drivers finished as far as we can see. And so that is great from all of them. So, just to give you an idea, next week we are back for the final round, the final ever ACC League from RTO in GT3s, and we are at Imola. We are rounding it off at Imola, one of the greatest tracks of all time in our opinion, and I'm hoping that you guys will be able to join us for that, because that is going to make well, for the simple fact that we've got 2 championships that are definitely still up for grabs here, I think you're going to find that it's going to be a hell of a race, and I look forward to seeing you guys for that. And unfortunately, we don't actually have the highlights for this race because I don't have them saved. And the reason being is because I wiped my PC the other day and I forgot to change that setting. However, yeah, we'll be back for round number 5, the final round next week, 7 o'clock on Sunday. I hope you guys will come and join us at the same time, same place. And I will leave you with the Series 9 video, and then we'll shut down the stream. But thank you so much. If you haven't already, please like the stream. Make sure you follow us and give us a subscribe on YouTube. Sorry about the absolute mix-up at the start of this broadcast, but I'm trying to do all of this on my own. There is just me, and that's it in regards to the stream and setting the server up and everything else. So I'm trying to get it all set up at the same time as doing everything. And I'm a man. I can breathe and talk at the same time barely, and watch a screen. If you want to start getting me to do other things in my own sense, I'm not very good at that. There's other guys out there that probably would be, but not me. So I apologize for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway, and I'll see you guys on the next one in a week's time. Good night.